Yeah, it sounds like the Assassin's Creed Valhalla ambient music that plays every 5 seconds. The one that goes, how is it again? It's like...
Which one? Oh,
the ambient music that plays.
Wait, when you just like
all the
you go
time.
into a cutscene, it just starts playing random medieval music.
No, it's the ambient music that plays when you're exploring. Look, type it in, you'll know. Type it in and play it. Cause
Okay.
it's
AC Valhalla, what, ambient music?
Yeah, just like exploration ambient music, whatever the fuck it is. It's like, it's...
This one's Frozen Lands, wait.
No, it's not that.
The First Departure?
Yeah, this.
This is classic.
This plays all the fucking time in Valhalla. You have to. I had to turn down the frequency of ambient music because it played so fucking much.
This does play so often, and it's like way too dramatic.
It's a very good piece of music, though. Like,
it is a very good piece of music. Yeah.
Really good, but it plays too much.
Do you know what's weird though? Is listening to this music, I want to play the game,
It's
which
'cause
shows
it's
that there
fucking
must
good
be
music.
a connection there. It's Jesper Kid, man.
And it's got a really nice looking open world, but it's just there's nothing to it. The characters can't be taken seriously. It makes them,
this music's good. Yeah.
It makes like a mockery of like that period of time as well. It's just fucking dumb.
This is a good one. This is the one that's very old school AC.
This is the one that Dun dun dun.
Oh, it sounds like this could play in Masyaf. Like,
yeah.
It's so Assassin's
It's Jesper
Creed.
Kid. It's Jesper Kid.
I don't know how Jesper Kid does it. What are these instruments?
Xylophone? I don't know.
What is he doing to make this? I think he just does it with his mouth.
Yeah, he just stands there. He goes boom, bam, boom. I still like Valhalla. In my opinion, mostly say the same. I still like it. Like, I think it's unfair that as soon as post-launch content came out, everyone started going, it's a shit game. Because it's not a shit game. It's just not an amazing game.
Plains of East Anglia. This is a classic bit.
Ah, Jailbird. Nightfall in Wessex.
It seems the sun sets again.
The wolf god. Seems the sun is set in Wessex once again.
Loki has stolen the sun from the sky, and tomorrow Odin will replace it with another sun.
Oh god. See, I've played it once. I had an overall fine experience. I never want to think about it again.
This is Jesper Kid. Those little sounds. It sounds like Brotherhood music.
It's so sick.
What's the
the viewpoint music is amazing in Valhalla as well. Actually, it's really fucking good.
Where's Kingdom of Wessex? Here it is. Kingdom of Wessex is such a banger.
Yeah, so I like when you go to Winchester and stuff like that.
It's got very Florence, Ezio and Florence, like Home and Florence vibes.
Eivor in Winchester. Oh,
yeah, it's so good.
Oh, this is sick.
Oh, I love this piece of music. Wessex is has such good music.
Oh, I think how good they could have made the game though. They just don't
know.
fucking do it.
It's like literally the music has like all of like what I wanted the game to be in it.
Yeah.
But the game just doesn't translate it properly to a game.
Because the game wants to be a game. It doesn't want to be a story. It wants to be a game.
I like this bit when it starts with the like singing in the background.
Yeah.
That is so good. Genuinely, this makes me remember. This makes me remember what it felt like to like Valhalla as much as I did when I played it the first time.
Yeah. The game just focuses fucking too much on just bollocks, like conquering England, and it's like that's not what anyone wants to fucking do.
Because there's so much good shit in it as well, like Eivor's character arc as well. And the relationship with Sigurd and Basim, and like how that translates, and like learning all that stuff from doing the truth sequences was so good. It's just the game is just like bogged down by so much fucking garbage.
I know, it's so sad.
And it's so annoying.
They got so close to making like a decent game, and then they just
so
didn't.
Close. They were like, right, we've got a really good game here. Now, how can we make it not as good as it is now?
Well,
I tell you what, let's add a
still
bunch
think
of other bollocks in.
I still think it's a good game. Obviously. It's so difficult to explain what I think about Valhalla.
Yeah, that's why I'm finding it so difficult, because like
the Assassin's Creed side of me doesn't like it at all, but then the part of me that knows that it's just a game is like it's a pretty decent game, like as a game. But it doesn't tell an Assassin's Creed story I want to know. And also, did you see that fucking post about it? You go first before I move on.
So it's like I don't know how to put it. I guess because it's not the same situation where it's like bad as AC but good as other game. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's almost like it works incredibly well as a piece of Assassin's Creed media.
Yeah.
But I think I resent it more because it replaces core Assassin's Creed games. I hate that it's replaced an AC2 or a Brotherhood.
Yeah.
And it exists instead of those. But if it existed as well as those, I think I would love it even more.
It'd be cool.
Because although it's not the core gameplay that I would love to play, I think it tells a really good story within the Assassin's Creed universe. And like I think it works as a really good piece of world building and a good piece of lore that explores a really cool part of history. And it's like that all that stuff about it I love. But I think what I hate so much and what makes me dislike the game more and more is that I know it's replacing what I would prefer.
Yeah.
And so that's what I really dislike.
What do you mean by replace? Well, it's been released instead of
like...
Yeah, like the idea of these RPG games is now instead of what we got before.
It's like they got rid of the old games in favour of these games. Whereas I think Valhalla proves you could release this alongside a core Assassin's Creed game. You could alternate. You could make all of these different genres of games within the Assassin's Creed universe and do them in a satisfying way.
Yeah, it's like how you see that post the other day that was like, oh, if Odyssey was marketed as Odyssey and Assassin's Creed story, it'd be received better. I disagree because that's not the reason I dislike Odyssey because of the way it was marketed and stuff like that. But I think that applies to Valhalla. If it was Valhalla and Assassin's Creed story, it would be like, well, this fits within the fucking universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas Odyssey doesn't. There's nothing you can fucking say that will ever make me think Odyssey would ever be.
And Odyssey's also just really shit as well.
It's just it's not a good game.
And so it's like all those things there. It's like that's why Odyssey just wouldn't work like that. But with Valhalla, it's like it really does work well as an Assassin's Creed adjacent story.
It fucking does.
But it's not that. And so it's like
take out the whole like Eivor using a hidden blade. Like if you're gonna do that and have it as like an Assassin's Creed story, then take that out.
Exactly, because then you've got like the main Assassin's Creed games are playing as an assassin. What Valhalla then would do is you're playing as a Viking who comes into contact with the assassins. Then you get to see the assassins from a Viking perspective,
which would be really cool.
You get to tell a Viking story that interweaves with this like age-old war between these Isu, and like then it conflicts with their own beliefs about their own mythology and their own religion. And you could do a lot more with it, I think.
But instead, they just want... And even then, if you did that, you could have the Assassin's Creed name on it, Ubisoft. If you want that badly, you can do that. You could have Valhalla, an Assassin's Creed story, and that could be the title of it. Or like... I don't know. Just don't call it Assassin's Creed Valhalla, please.
Yeah,
it's not an Assassin's Creed game.
I feel like that's the major issue here. It's like Valhalla would be genuinely, I think, a really compelling story to tell if it wasn't replacing those other games.
It's really cool as well. Like I love Sigurd's story and how like he goes away and then you come back to him and he fucking blows up on Eivor and Eivor's like, what the fuck? This is like you feel really bad for her because you're like she's just trying to like bring out the brother that she knew, but he's not there anymore.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a really nice story, and the whole I was about to say the whole thing with Dag and stuff that could have been done way better because Dag's just a fucking rambling idiot in Valhalla to be honest.
I mean, I think as well like I would allow myself to get immersed in the Viking fantasy if it were that as well because I'd be like this is a Viking game in the Assassin's Creed universe.
This is what Eivor believes.
They don't try and pull the wool over your eyes and be like no it's an Assassin's Creed. Like if they just up front said it's in the Assassin's Creed universe, but it's not an Assassin's Creed game. It's a Viking game. I would allow myself to enjoy all those things so much more as well. Be like, well, it is a game about fucking raiding and being a Viking.
Yeah.
It'd be like you'd allow yourself. You could lay into that so much more.
And if you don't want to play them, you don't even have to engage with them. You can go
Assassin's Creed still exists.
Stories. Yeah. Exactly. The gameplay really breaks down the story. To be honest, they really need new. They need to approach it from a very different perspective because right now it's literally just hack and slash bollocks, fucking terrible animations, really weird. Like I don't like the abilities. I don't know why they added those in and kept them in. I don't know why they kept them in Valhalla. They should have got rid of them.
God, I hate it the way that they do that. Like The Witcher 3 is somehow it's a fantasy game that's more grounded than Valhalla.
I know.
And it's like I just don't understand how. Like despite the other than the dragons and shit, but. It's like Geralt moves like a real person and like fights like a real person despite being an enhanced guy.
To be fair, the combat in Witcher 3, like as much as I like it personally, it's really clunky.
I don't think it's clunky. I think it works really nicely. I'm a big fan of the combat in The Witcher 3.
I only think it's clunky when you try and use the dodge rolls as well in conjunction with everything else, because it's like the dodge rolls, sometimes you overshoot it.
Maybe maybe you could. I mean, it's obviously not a perfect system, but I think it works really nicely.
I like it. I like it still.
I think the only thing I probably would change is just add. I think you could add invincibility frames to the dodge rolls. Maybe more so, because I think it has some, but I think maybe a little bit more, because sometimes you can get fucked up by it.
That's true, you can dodge into an attack and just get fucking done.
If you just added a bit of an invisibility frame on there, I think you'd be alright.
Whereas in Valhalla, you pretty much don't get hit by anyone, even if you're not moving.
You can just stand still.
Are retarded.
Oh my god, it's so ridiculous. They're retarded unless you're trying to do stealth, and then they're incredibly smart. I can spot you through a wall.
Yeah, they can like spot you when you're up high and shit. Yeah, I love how Ava has infinite amount of axes. Yeah, it's just little things like that they overlook, takes you out of the experience. It's they don't care really about your experience being ruined or your immersion being ruined.
They just want, like, it's an arcade game. That's how it feels.
Almost, yeah. It's like an arcade fantasy.
You're running through. The fuck was that? I think Elva knocked something over. She was taking the dog for a walk. She must come back. Either that or being robbed.
Nah, come on. Kick of Tears, epic and cool. Yeah,
the Kick of Tears.
Tears known for kicking people.
It's actually so funny they had to keep in the fucking Spartan kick.
Probably because if they got rid of it, people would be like, "What are you doing? Get rid of Spartan kick." I love that in Odyssey. It was one of my favourite abilities.
And like, it's so funny because I remember an interview with Darby when they were making Black Flag, and he said they thought about putting the hook blade in this game, but one, it'd be gimmicky because of pirates, and second of all, they don't like putting things in a game just because it was in a previous one.
Yeah.
And like, there's a completely different design philosophy now.
Yeah. Now it's just like what works. Let's make some Frankenstein game out of like loads of our different ideas from previous games.
Yeah. They're like, we can't remove it because if we remove it, the players will be like, where was this feature?
That's why they put the longship in it. Exactly. It's like, wow, they love the Adrestia in Odyssey. Everyone loved the Adrestia.
Yeah. I think that what's interesting though is when you look at Call of Duty, they were in a similar position a few years ago when they were releasing like Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare.
Yeah,
whatever
they released Modern Warfare, and everyone was like, wow, this is fucking amazing.
They were like, it's time to go back to basics. Let's strip stuff away, even if it was in the last game. Let's just remove a bunch of shit.
Yeah, but Ubisoft aren't like that because they're too arrogant. They're like, well, whatever we'll do, it's going to make money, so fucking do what we want. Whereas at least Activision's like, maybe we should care about the fans a little bit and make a good game for them instead. And that's Activision. I'm putting Activision above Ubisoft.
Activision,
and that's Active fucking Vision. Well, I guess they published it.
Yeah, but they let
Infinity
them do it.
War.
They let them do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The higher ups let them do it, and the higher ups are Activision at the end of the day.
I would love to see what the sales would be like for a classic Assassin's Creed game. Like if they were to make one now. If the next Assassin's Creed was, you know, the old style, like it was
an actual assassin,
really engaging parkour. Like
the ISO goes back to being like mysterious and like
assassinations,
could you imagine
an urban environment. Like I wonder if the game would sell or not. It'd be interesting to see.
I don't think at this point it would. Because
I think it might sell worse than Valhalla.
Assassin's Creed is known now as the hack and slash fantasy history game.
It's easier to sell Valhalla than it is to sell
like Brotherhood.
Yeah, it's
like
it's
Revelations.
Easier,
yeah, it's way easier
because you can sell it to literally anybody.
I think Black Flag almost started this fetish though of of like really wanting mental like iconic historical
because
things.
It hit the mainstream because everyone's like, whoa, I can play as a pirate, that's so cool.
Yeah,
and like that's what drew in all of these new people.
It's not this amazing narrative and like personal story based on the characters you meet along the way and you know, Edward's greed and all that stuff. It's like Viking, pirate. It's the same
pirate,
thing. The same thing.
It's these people that went, I played AC2 and then I never played anymore, and they were like, I played Black Flag because it was pirates and that was so cool.
It was epic.
And then these people then played Unity and were like, wait, what the fuck is this? So, and it didn't help that the game was also shit. That they were like, wait, what the fuck? You had a really cool pirate game and now you've gone back to this shit. And so like these people that don't understand how to think critically put like two and two together and go, wait, bad game, Assassins, I like the pirate one. It must be because they're doing old school Assassin's Creed. That's why it's bad. And like that was the message Ubisoft then got. Because they were like, well, Black Flag did well, Unity didn't do well. What's the difference between them?
I've noticed we do that. We do this every episode on Horsey and Fox. We go into some deep, fucking discussion about Assassin's Creed. It's like every week we meet together to mourn the loss of fucking Assassin's Creed. It's just really sad because I know, like, if they did all the stuff that I wanted to do in a game, I'd be like, this is my favourite game ever. Like, could you imagine they released another Assassin's Creed game and it was like better than the Ezio games? And it's like
so
cinematic. Like, they put care into all the animations and the combat and the gameplay, and it all flows together to make this amazing game. I'll be like, this is my favourite game ever. I would probably say that. If they made like a perfect AC game.
It could be one of my favourite games. Like, I think I just want it so badly. Like, I want an assassin game so badly, where like you've got meaningful parkour, you've got a really well thought out story, a lot of philosophy, actual like well thought out assassination sequences, a really cool urban environment. Like, if you did that, it honestly could be my favourite game.
Yeah, same.
It's got the potential of being, because I love all those things so much, and I haven't had it in so fucking long.
Like, imagine like an iconic Assassin's Creed story being told in 2021, and like, or like whenever the next time they're gonna do it, and like they actually put in the effort. They have a team of writers that care about it and everything, and they keep on Jesper Kidd and like Sarah Schachner and everyone to work on the soundtrack.
So good,
but they won't.
It'd be so good.
Talk about Witcher 3 music. Discuss how good AC used to be. yeah,
that's
two things
it.
ticked off the Horsey and
Well,
Fox
do you know
list.
what's good about this is I can make another clip, and we're gonna get big views on 4 Pillar Clips. That's how it goes.
Hello, 4 Pillar Clips. If you're watching right now,
hello. Subscribe to 4 Pillars Clips today. We know a lot of you aren't subscribed because we have literally 16,000 views on one of the videos, and we've only got 2,000 something subscribers. So what are you doing?
And if I go into my analytics, you can help me fight against the army of people who aren't subscribed and watch my videos.
Give us that percentage.
I love it when people say that in their videos. They're like, oh, I don't know if you knew, but like only like fucking 2% of you are actually subscribed compared to like 98% that just watch my videos and don't subscribe. It's like, well, that's how it works, man.
Subscribe. If you subscribe, we might do another one of these
next
week.
We might talk about Assassin's Creed again next week.
We might just have the exact same conversation, actually. The exact same one. You could just listen to it again.
Yeah.
We know how much you like that.
Slightly different words. We'll pace it slightly differently. We'll speak in different tenses if you want as well. You know. Yeah,
it's, you know, I've been doing this for about 6 years now, and people don't get bored of this same conversation about how Assassin's Creed is dead and we wish it weren't. It's collective mourning, I think, which is nice. So.
I think we've almost. I think everyone who likes the old AC now knows who we are.
Yeah,
we've talked about it so much.
Yeah,
we've gotten that part of the community, and we've welcomed them with open arms.
Yeah, big open arms.
Let's be honest, we'll have this exact convo next week anyway. We will.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Though. That's the clip. I'm just gonna clip it.
Yeah, there you go.